Hello and welcome to the Citizens Fancast. As always, I am your host, Evan. And if you haven't noticed, depending on where you're watching, uh, we are now working with video. So just continuing to expand in new media and expand on what I've been doing. So if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you're listening, Apple, Amazon, Google, wherever, now available on video. You can go watch the full length video on YouTube. I'm also on TikTok now, so TikTok clips will be coming. Set that up today, so just continuing, like I said, to expand and continuing to see how far I can take this. So here we are, back after 2 weeks. The season is officially up and running with our first friendly in the books with a 5-3 win. I'm not going to cover that too much because, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the match at all. I don't even know where to watch it, in all honesty. I've been looking for a stream or something somewhere, to just a video of it. I couldn't find anything. I watched the extended highlights. From what I saw, a little off defensively. It felt like just allowing some goals that we probably shouldn't. And it's just the things we need to work through, and having Ederson back and having everybody on field that we should be having on field would be nice moving forward. So we got one in the books. I'm recording this a day late, so we got another one tomorrow. But I think once this releases, the game will already be played against Bayern Munich. Technically, this releases at midnight in the United States, but the match will already be played, and I don't expect to be able to watch that one either, just because I'm going to be working during the match. So don't have the opportunity to watch that one, unfortunately. But we got another one coming up next Sunday. Should be able to watch that one. And then we get right into the Community Shield against Arsenal. So just as far as the podcast here, I plan to... we're going to take next week off again, and then once we get the game in against Arsenal in the Community Shield, I'll do an episode after that, and we'll get rolling in a weekly episode every single Monday, just with my topics. Like I said, it's not going to be fully focused just on the games and everything like that, but that's the plan moving forward. I got a few more things in the works yet for this summer before we get into the next season, a couple things I want to release, so... with that being said, like I said, recording a day late, so I was actually out of town this weekend. That's why I'm recording a day late. And that really gets me, honestly, into the first topic I want to talk about, which isn't really even city-related at all. It's more about the fact that, wherever I go, whenever I'm traveling or whatever, I'm trying to find a soccer field to go play, football field, whatever. And it's hard because in the United States, it's so difficult because every year we go into the World Cup, and people get hyped about it for a little bit or whatever, and that's about it. It's about the World Cups, and that's it, and no one pays attention other than that, unless you're a true football fan. So the part that bothers me the most, honestly, is the access to be able to play here in the United States, because like I said, wherever I go, I'm always looking for fields because I just like to play, kick a ball around. I probably do it 3 to 5 days a week, every single week, and it's frustrating because whenever I travel, I try to find a place to play and kick a ball around, and fields are locked or just there's not nets up, or they'll have the posts but no nets on them. A lot of fields just aren't even lined, and I feel like it's just part of just the entire system here in the United States that if you truly want to play football and, make a life out of it, it's so hard. There's so much pay to play growing up. I went through the entire thing growing up, and it's just so difficult because you can't, the access is limited, and I think it's dependent on where you grow up and everything too, because I grew up in a small town, but at all times I had access to 3 fields, and I came from a town of 2,500 people, and now I live in one of about 10,000 and I have one field, and half the time there's people on it that aren't even playing. So it's like there needs to be more access. That's just my biggest beef is there needs to be more access, and it's a little frustrating when you want to continue to see the sport grow and continue to see people play and come up, through the United States system. It's not a good system. It needs to be a system where we can, we can train players and have academies and things like that and work our way up. And it goes all the way through the MLS too. Some of their contract rules, I don't even fully understand them, but I think that's part of what makes it so difficult here. They just need to have, the whole system needs to change. It needs to just follow the European model, in all honesty, because it's not working. And that's why I don't think we can compete. And recently the United States has been better on the men's side. Obviously, the women, are incredible, some of the best in the world, but on the men's side, it's hard. I feel like it's such a pay-to-play system, and it's just it's frustrating. So that's my beef right now. So my one thing that's not city related, and I mentioned the women's team. Women's World Cup is obviously underway. I got my Lucy Bronze jersey on because she's amazing. So England won their first match. United States won their first match. When this releases, the United States will play again today at 8 p.m. Central. So if you want to make time to watch that, go find it. I'm not going to figure it out for the other time zones. So if you want to watch, you're a different time zone. They play tonight in the U.S. So England plays again on Friday. So should be interesting. I think those are two of the favorites. So exciting to watch World Cup. I'm hoping to watch more games. Again, the times are very, very all over the place, so it's kind of hard to do that. But that being said, there's my non-city topics. Got about 10 minutes in here. And so time to get into city. Been 2 weeks since I've done this. So first topic is Holland was announced as the cover of EAFC, formerly FIFA. And I think that's so cool for City just to finally be in we're becoming more and more worldwide. And, it's part of doing this show and other shows. And I'm always willing to promote other podcasts and everything like that. So if anyone's listening, you have a podcast, reach out to me, tweet at me, whatever. I will promote it as much as I can on my own Twitter channel, as long as Twitter is still alive. It's going down a rough path right now. So I'm doing my best to try to promote. And I know there's others that are equally on the same page. So it's a more accepting community. I think we're all just trying to grow the City fan base and just, put ourselves out there and just share our love for the team. So looking forward to continuing to try new methods here and get into TikTok and YouTube and kind of get into video. Part of why I'm doing this is because Twitter, or whatever it's going to become, has just turned into an absolute mess. So just continuing to work forward and expand into other types of media and try to hit some other markets. So thank you guys for listening. As always, if you're new, go watch or go listen to the old episodes. Obviously, there's no video, so you'll have to listen somewhere else. But if you found me on TikTok or on YouTube or whatever, I appreciate your time. And more City content to come. So I'm rambling a little bit here. Let's get fully into the City stuff. First thing on my list here is Mahrez has officially left, took a contract in Saudi Arabia. And it's not unexpected, and he definitely will be missed. He's a very, very skilled player for us. He has been very, very individually skilled, and I think our he's obviously going to be missed in the Premier League. One of the greatest outside players in the Premier League, in all honesty. I mean, just what he did for Leicester in that title run and everything he did for us has been absolutely incredible. There's been so many games where he would, just take over in moments where he was needed. So just an incredible player, and I wish him all the luck in his future. He deserves taking a big money contract and kind of just retiring in I'll say less competitive environment. So all the best to him, but he will need replacing. So for me, I would say the one player that stood out, and this is before when we were signing, talking about signing wings. Obviously, there were the rumors for however long about Krisha Kravitsalia. Not going to say that again, but there were the rumors about getting him potentially, and I don't think that was ever really an option. Everyone loves to bring up Sane. We're not getting Sane back. He's my favorite non-City player. Always will be. So I'd love to have him back. I loved him before he was at City, but Leroy Sané's not coming back. For me, the most obvious signing was Michael Olise, and I feel like he's a perfect replacement for Mahrez. He's a lot like Mahrez. He's young. He's 22 years old. He's left-footed, just like Mahrez was. And I was watching some videos on him just to refresh. Obviously I watch a lot of games throughout the year, so I'm very familiar with him. But just kind of see more things. I don't get to watch all the games. I don't watch Palace a ton. I watch what I can for games that don't overlap with City and whatnot. But his crossing is incredible. His ability to play a ball back post is so good, and I think that would work amazing with Haaland with his height advantage that he has on a lot of players and just his leaping ability. So coming off a season, 2 goals, 11 assists, he'd be another player where like Grealish, where he's not there to score, he's there to create chances and get assists. And that 11 assists is really what makes me excited if we have the possibility. From what I've heard, we're going after him. Chelsea's going after him. We'll see what happens, but I think he's a perfect replacement. He reminds me a lot of Mahrez, in all honesty. He's very young, and working in our system, I think he'd fit in very quickly, in all honesty. So I hope we make a move on him. We'll see. I've heard we're kind of just waiting to see what the injury situation is with him, and I hope that's a signing that we can make. He's number 7. Our 7 is currently taken by Cancelo, but I'll touch on Cancelo in a little bit, but I think he'd be a great player. Another one that we wouldn't bring in for goals like Grealish. I don't think we brought in Grealish for goals, no matter what anybody says, just to kind of play balls in, create chances, which, talking about Grealish brings me to another thing that I want to talk about here. I've seen a lot. We've got some people in our fan base that like to. They go at our players for stupid reasons, about goal scored and all this. The one that I saw was he scored 1 goal at the Etihad since December of 2021. So. And my exact response, you could go find the tweet, is who cares? With a list of the chances he created in the Champions League. And that's what it's about. And if you want to talk about goals scored at the Etihad, it's an irrelevant stat. Because, yeah, he might only have 1 home goal in, a year and a half? But what about his goal at Arsenal? And what about the chances created? Because in a team where Haaland gets 50 goals a year, we want players to create chances. We don't want players who are just going to be selfish and score goals. At times, there's moments to be selfish and go for the goal yourself. But for the most part, we're going to want players who are going to create those chances for him. And that's what he does. His hold-up play, his dribbling, and I've said it numerous times, too, in the past, his defensive ability is incredible. So it's not about scoring goals. And, you got all the people that are like, oh, it's just an excuse, to try to say he was worth the price tag. He was worth the price tag, 100%. He's been an incredible player. He's done amazing things for us just in the short time. He made a huge leap from last year to this year. And, you could see the glimpses last year. And I've talked about this extensively, about how much he helps us. And it's not about the goals. It's never going to be about the goals. And I think for us, in all honesty, Haaland's obviously going to be our main goal scorer. Alvarez is right up there as a good replacement, or if we need him, Holland injury, whatever. But for me, the next highest goal scorer for us is always going to be Foden as long as he's healthy. He's got the finishing ability. He's got the ability to create chances for himself. And, it's about what player do you want. And it's Foden is more that player to create chances for himself, and Grealish is more that player to create chances for other people. And that's fine. You don't want 11 goal scorers on the field. You need somebody to do everything. Everybody's got a job, and everybody's job can't be scoring goals. So it's a weird argument, especially, from our quote unquote fan base. Just stop. I don't care what narrative you're trying to push or anything like that. Grealish is an incredible player. He's an incredible human being as well. It's just, you gotta lighten up. The stats don't matter, in all honesty. If you want to look at anything, look at the assist, and that's the part. So, continuing on with wingers, I'm not going to go on too much about Grealish and everything too much more. Bernardo Silva, it seems like he is going to be staying. Super, super good for us. Sorry, I'm in a temporary setup here. I'm not entirely sure. I might be moving in a month. We're still trying to figure that out. So apologize. My lighting's a little bit off. I got my temporary background back there for now. The lighting's a little messed up. I got a lamp to the side of me here and a window open for my lighting. I got a ring light in front of me. So I apologize. I got weird shadows on my face and whatnot. But I got a hand coming up here. This is not a professional operation, as you can see. This is my first time on video. I'm not a person who's comfortable in front of video. It takes a lot of courage for me to do this. So, again, I apologize for the rambling. I apologize for my crappy setup as well. But and if you're watching, we're here along for the ride. So, anyway, back into the team, back into wingers. Bernardo Silva sounds like he will be staying, and that's perfect. Awesome for us. Player who can play outside, he can play in the middle, and I think he's going to be important, especially with Gundogan leaving and Mahrez leaving if we don't sign a replacement. So it'll be important to continue to get him to get his minutes. Obviously, very pivotal for us this last year. The goals against Madrid in the semifinal, and just his playmaking ability, his work rate. That's one thing he's always got a high work rate. I think. He never stops moving. He's always running. He's willing to track back. And, he can kind of play anywhere, left back, even if need be. So, super cool that he's staying. From what it seems that he's staying, I think he will be. And, further into players who may stay or may leave, I'm going to go through a couple more here, just what I got on my list. Kyle Walker, rumored to leave, rumored to Bayern Munich. From Pep's comments today, it sounds like he's convinced that Walker is staying. I hope he does. I think he's still got a position in our team. From what I heard, he was a little upset about losing his starting spot, but I don't think Kyle Walker's that guy that should be, super upset about that. That's going to be super upset about that. So he does a lot for our team, as everybody's got a role. So I hope he sticks around. He's a great player. We need his pace in games, especially those Champions League games against Madrid and PSG, depending if they have anybody left over there. But I really hope he stays. I'm back and forth on whether or not I think he's going to stay. I feel like I see something different every single day on whether or not he's going to stay or leave. So hoping he stays. Speaking on outside defenders, Cancelo, I know he had a good game in our friendly. And I've seen people that want him to just apologize to Pep. We can move on. He can stick around. I don't think it's an option. From what I've seen, they want him gone. Pep wants him gone. And I fully expect him to leave. I don't think, after the falling out last year, I don't think he's going to be a player that's going to really be a part of our picture moving forward. From what I've heard, we want to get rid of him. And we'll see what happens with that. I think the price tag, I saw a price tag of $50 million, seems a bit high considering we're just, from my opinion, trying to offload him. So we'll see what happens there. But I don't expect him to be a part of our squad moving forward. So as I said, he's number 7, and hopefully that number moves up or opens up for a new signing. And I again, for people who listen on a consistent basis, I love Cancelo. I think he's a great player. He just doesn't fit with us anymore, and it's kind of by his own choosing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens moving forward, but I do not expect him to stay. And moving on again. Sorry, I got to work on these transitions here. I'm doing my best. But one player left on a loan, Josh Wilson Esbrand, left for the French league on loan. Great move for him. I think he's going to get more minutes there. He'll be able to hopefully get a consistent first team position, and then he can come back and maybe be a replacement for a Walker or a Cancelo, whoever you want to say. I don't think we have the minutes there for him now, but I think if he gets a little more first team experience, gets a chance to play against some good players, some more first team minutes just anywhere. I think first team minutes are just what players need. Gain confidence, gain full game awareness and things like that, and then use that, come back and move that into a position with our team. We've seen it with James McAtee, still undecided on whether or not he's staying or going, but we should see news on him, I would assume, before the transfer window is expired. From what I've heard, he's going to get a contract extension, so it looks like we're looking to lock him down. Is he a part of our picture for this year, or is he part of our picture moving forward? I'd love to see him get some minutes. I think it would also depend on if we sign a winger or not, because if we don't sign a winger, there's more minutes on the wing for Foden, which opens up more minutes in the middle for McAtee. So we'll see what happens there as well. But I'd love to see him stay. I'm all for opportunities for young players. And, that's why I want players like Cole Palmer and Sergio Gomez to stick around. And just mentioning Gomez, I saw that he played left wing in our friendly. So trying something new. I think looking at the Euros, the Pep saw what he was doing and gave him a shot at a wing position, and I think that could be a good change for him. So we'll see if Pep has him in our picture to move forward and continue to contribute to our team. Maybe a wing position is better for him, and we'll see. I got a lot of wait and see moments here. I'm all for, like I said, the young players staying and sticking around and continuing to grow with us and get more minutes. So love to see him stay as well. Love to see Cole Palmer stay. And just talking about the academy a little bit, I want to talk about the people who are out there saying, oh, City's corruption with their academy players' prices. Why are they getting so much for these players and everything like that? The reason is very obvious. All you have to do is open your eyes and pay attention for 5 seconds and just be willing to comprehend the information that's in front of you. The last 3 seasons, we've won the Under-18 Premier League and we've won the Under-21 Premier League 3 years in a row. So when you look at those academies and those academy players and the academy prices, you have these players that are on a three-peat for essentially being the best academy. And I saw a comment about, I've never heard of the City players. But it doesn't matter if you've heard of them or not, because there's other people out there who are doing their jobs who have heard of them. And that's the point. And it's not necessarily about even those players. It's more about just the fact that you look at players like Foden and McAtee and Doyle and what they've done. Look at McAtee and Doyle last year. A very big piece in getting Sheffield back up. And you've got Foden and what he came in and what he can do. And you've got Rico Lewis. And it's the opportunity to get a player like that. Because it's not always just about the player. It's about what could the player become. And that's what you're paying for. Is it worth 20, 30 million for a player that could be the next Foden? Or could, be a Rico Lewis? Yeah, it's worth it. So I don't want to hear any of this crap about, why are people paying these prices? It's obvious, because our academy, we've put so much money and so much time and resources into growing our academy and getting these players that can come in and be first team players. Cole Palmer is another one that I just mentioned. That's why the prices are being paid. It has nothing to do with corruption or anything like that. It's simply about the opportunity to get a player that could be a first team, incredible world-class player at some point. It's really not that hard to comprehend, in all honesty, but it's just whether or not you're willing to choose and accept the information, or you're just going to ignore it. So it's really just ignorance, and I don't know why I let it get to me, but it frustrates me always seeing these comments about, oh, well, why is these prices being paid? It's obvious. All you got to do is just look at the information. A quick Google search can get you the information that you need to pay attention to. So it's just about paying attention, in all honesty. But that's my spiel on that one. I don't have a ton more on that. I hope our academies continue to succeed and continue to move in the right direction, continue to bring us titles, and more of those players can move up and show, or we can make a profit off of those players too. So continue to show what they do at that level. They're gonna come into a role, whether it's for us or down the line for somebody else. I mean, another one, for example, is Brahim Diaz. He started getting some minutes for City, wanted to move to Madrid. The move didn't really work out, and it took 2-3 years with Milan to get into a position where he was that player. So some of these players may take time to develop, but over time they'll show their price. And now Madrid's keeping him. He started their friendly 2 nights ago, and he looked very good, in all honesty. So it's just about just the wait and see of those players and what you could get, as opposed to it's worth the risk to get a player from our academy and our system. We just won a treble. Our academies are winning these titles. Players coming out of these systems know how to play. They're being coached the right way. They're being directed the right way. So it's not that hard to figure out, in all honesty. But like I said, it's just about paying attention and being willing to accept the information. So moving on from the academy to a little bit of a sad note here. Again, I apologize. My transitions kind of suck here. But David Silva tore his ACL. From what I've heard, he's gonna retire. And if you know my story and just kind of how I really became a City fan and how I got into professional football and watching it and whatnot, he was a big role in that. So he had an amazing career. One of the best Premier League midfielders of all time. One of the best City players of all time. And I wish him best of luck in retirement. It sucks to go out like that. Same as Aguero, just going out on an injury. But he had an amazing career and definitely deserves retirement. So helped us numerous times. Big pivotal part in that title in 2012. Just that game in general. So and everything else he's done along the way. So congrats on his retirement, I guess. I mean, given the circumstances, it feels a little bit weird to say that. So I don't know if that's the route I want to go with that. But it's I mentioned Aguero, and it just sucks seeing these players who were legendary for us, being forced into retirement. And on the Aguero note, for some reason, I've seen a lot of people talking the Harry Kane versus Aguero comparisons, and it's not a comparison. I'm not going to sit here and spiel off all of Aguero's records and everything he's done for City through the years. Again, it's just about paying attention and, stop trying to be a stupid troll on the internet. Stop being dumb. Stop ignoring the information. Aguero was clear. Aguero is probably the greatest striker in Premier League history. All you have to do is look at his goals per game ratio, his goals per minute ratio, and that will tell you. Because I've said this numerous times. There's, people will argue Wayne Rooney and stuff like that. I don't think Wayne Rooney was a good player. He wasn't. Just because you played for a long time and scored a lot of goals because of that doesn't make you a good player. Like, yeah, he was an okay player. Let's just say that. But, he wasn't at Aguero's level because Aguero came in and he did it right away. He didn't have 5, 6, 7, 8 extra years like Wayne Rooney. What he had was the ability to come in, score goals on a consistent basis, and even towards the end of his Premier League career, he could be a player that could come off the bench or when he struggled with injuries and stuff like that and still contribute. And if it wouldn't have been for injuries and even more squad rotation just with Jesus and whatnot, and, I feel like when Pep came in, his role got a little less significant. And if you want to look at those times with Aguero, maybe you could argue that Kane was a better player, but he still wasn't. So it's really just, again, about just looking at the information, looking at the stats, seeing Aguero in his big game scenarios. One of my favorite Aguero moments is, well, you obviously have the game-winning goal in 2012 for the title, but one of my favorite moments was his hat trick against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Just a performance to go out there and say, I need to be this guy who can score our goals, and we need goals right now, so I'm going to go score the goals. So it was really a kind of just, I'm here, I'm him type of moment. And again, an incredible player for City, a legendary player, and I'm sick of seeing these stupid arguments about it. But it's people on the internet, that's what they're going to continue to do. So, sorry, running out of topics here. So, which is good. Sorry, just stretching a little bit. I apologize about this shadow coming in here too. The sun's going down. It took me about an hour to get this set up. I got a webcam that works great. I got a new microphone here. I got a new computer. I have a whole new setup here. It's just my lighting is a little bit off in this temporary environment. So as the sun goes down, the shadow is going to get a little greater here. And I apologize for that if you're watching. If you're just listening, this makes no sense to you. I apologize. I've been talking about the video portion so much. So if this part isn't for you, fast forward or whatever. Ignore it. Move on. Back to City again. Sorry, jumping all over again. Like I said, I'm not used to being on camera here, so it's a little bit weird for me seeing myself here while I record. So I mentioned in the last episode, it looks like we were going for Guardiola. We got it. Here we go. But that was about a week ago now. Apparently, personal terms are agreed. It's down to the teams. Leipzig seems a little hesitant that it was leaked, and they want to hold on to him for another year. City seems pretty confident that we're going to sign him. From what I've seen, Pep wants him very badly. Top defender in the world, and I'd expect the deal to get done. We got the here we go, and that's good enough for me. So we'll see in the next coming days here whether or not he actually signs. I think we're going to end up getting him, but we'll see. Just talking on defenders again, it looks like Ake is signing a contract extension. Incredible for him. He had the opportunity to leave. He stayed. He fought for his minutes, and he did exactly what he needed to do. He fought for them. He got them, and he was incredible for us last season. So he deserves a contract, deserves the higher wages. Excited to see what he can continue to do for us. I plan to get his jersey this year, which brings me to the next topic of the third kit was released today before the away kit. A little bit weird, and I like it. I like our Champions League print on the back of that. So I plan to get a Ake jersey of that one, and looking forward to that. Looking forward to the away kit being released too, just so I can have them all. I already got the home kit for Diaz. Again, if you follow me on Twitter or whatever Twitter's going to become, posted that there. So looking forward to getting an Ake jersey. Not very important information for anybody but myself. So I'm about out of topics here. I got one or two things left, and that's about it. So De Bruyne back in training after his hamstring issue. I don't know how he's back. He seems the man's not human. He's a machine. I mean, how do you come back from an issue like that? He was supposed to be out for a couple months yet. Could he play in the Community Shield? We'll see. I don't want to force him back. Obviously, whenever he's ready, we're going to be ready for him. Until then, we have Foden, we have Bernardo, and we'll see. But incredible for him, and I think he should have a great season. Which brings me into my last topic, which is I've seen a lot of posts about how players who just predictions for the next season about who's going to be the best player, who's going to have an underwhelming season, and things like that. There are so many people that are preying on City's downfall. So many people that want underwhelming seasons from De Bruyne or Haaland and just want a chance at the title. But as I see all these posts, I'm thinking, what's an underwhelming season for De Bruyne? What's an underwhelming season for Haaland? 15 assists for De Bruyne? Underwhelming, potentially. So, and what, 25 goals for Haaland? 20? Would that be an underwhelming season? Because that still puts him at the top. So, the rivals, they're here. They're preying on our downfall. I don't see it happening. And in all reality, if they have a bad season, somebody else is going to step up, fill their spot, and get the goal contribution. So I'm not concerned. I see everyone preying on our downfall. Keep preying on our downfall. It's not going to happen. But I've seen teams trying to say we're finished already, as if we're not coming off a treble win. Show me your treble, I'll show you mine, and that's all I got on that. So that's my first video episode. So thank you guys for watching or listening. Again, as always, I plan to continue to do this. Like I said, no episode next week, and then we're back into the full weekly episodes. I got a few more things I got coming out before we get fully into the next season. A few more things I want to do. Just before we get up and running. I got some exciting things that I'm looking forward to launching as well here to just continue to grow this platform and continue to share my love of City and everything with everybody else. So as always, thank you for listening. Open to any questions, comments, topic ideas, anything you got for me. I'm here. I'm not hard to get a hold of. Leave a review wherever you're watching or listening. Leave a review. Just see if you can get me moved up those popularity charts by leaving a review on the podcast. 5 stars would be appreciated. Yeah, leave me a review. Follow me on Twitter at Citizens Fancast. Like I said, I'm on TikTok. If you listen to this full episode, there's going to be clips coming out from this episode, and that's kind of what I plan to do on there. Is just kind of have it. Post kind of clips from the episode and just other things I see if I want to make comments on and not do it in my full episode. So again, Citizens Fancast on TikTok, on YouTube now too. Subscribe on YouTube. All these episodes will be coming out there, the full-length episodes in video. As always, if you don't want to listen to or watch the video, you can listen on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and Google. And that's all I got. So thanks for sticking along. First video episode. I rambled a lot. It's getting dark in here. It's a little shadowy, so I'll try to record earlier in the day next time. But thank you for listening, and as always, go City.